Welcome to my returning Raw, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm now going to see if I can start doing Raw on a regular basis. I haven't done it in months because of my situation. I'm going to hope I can keep doing it for a while, next to all the regular pains I have. But it's back. Now, this Raw in Detroit, Michigan. I think the reason I started messing up my words just then is because I'm trying to figure out how impactful this was. Was it impactful? Yes, it was. But the question's going to be, will this translate into a WrestleMania 32 impact? Because this is like a shot in the arm. And I'm saying this early instead of waiting to the end of this review. And you guys can see from my thumbnail what I'm going to be talking about at the end of the review. But let's get through everything first. And let's do the thing that was the most impactful at the very end of the show. And that is Roman Reigns dealing with Sheamus and dealing with Triple H. The thing that gets me about the match between Sheamus and Roman Reigns was, if you guys didn't notice, what happened to the League of Nations? Stephanie made it so very clear when she came to him in a backstage segment. You see, I'm messing up my words because this angers me. Why would you have Stephanie come out and say, well, you got to have a match tonight, but the League of Nations is going to probably mess with you. You better be careful. And they do absolutely nothing. You should have never came out. You should have just announced it backstage without having Roman there that he has a match with Sheamus. That would have been the end of it. But then you're saying the League of Nations is going to be there, and that was absolutely stupid. Then we get the match. There was no winner there. Just when it's about 9 is when Triple H's music hits. The King of Kings comes out, drops his title, drops his jacket, walks up and starts trying to beat the shit out of a Roman Reigns and then busts his nose open. I'm alright with that. They're really trying so hard to make WrestleMania 32 interesting. So they really believe, well, it's time to pay the FCC a couple of $10,000 or $20,000 for heavy amounts of blood, because we're not supposed to be doing that because it's not legally allowed. But whenever we do, we have to pay a fine. So they decide to pay a fine. $10,000 to $20,000 to try and promote WrestleMania with the most impactful thing you can give, and that's to make Roman Reigns bleed. Was it impactful? Yes, it was. Was it good to see that the crowd was happy to see Roman Reigns get his ass kicked? I'm kind of in the camp of what Deluxe Man has said, and I've seen his reviews, especially of Fastlane. But the problem I see is that Deluxe Man, and I respect the man because he has a very good sense of how the wrestle business works, the wrestling business. But for me personally, I don't believe Roman Reigns is something you should basically turn against. What I mean by that simply is that he obviously loves Daniel Bryan. He loves CM Punk. And several of the indie guys that have been there. Not saying he doesn't love like a Cesaro like I do. But he never said 100% he liked Roman Reigns. He doesn't hate him, but he doesn't 100% like him. Which I understand. But I do believe to a certain extent he's really in the camp where I don't want Roman Reigns, period. At least until he becomes more polished. That I do agree and understand in his respect. But I see it in this respect, that Roman Reigns is here now. It's not the point that if he had stayed out of this situation and gotten more polished, that later he would become better. I would love that, but I'm stuck with what we have now. And the WWE is pushing a guy that, yeah, he's not fully ready for prime time yet, but it's what we got. You don't have Daniel Bryan, you don't have CM Punk, you don't have John Cena, you don't have Randy Orton, you don't have Batista. Those are some of the strong people they've had in the last 6 years. Including Sting, which got ruined because he tried to make something very special with Seth Rollins, which should have never been done. And Seth Rollins himself is out of it as well. They don't have anyone except for Roman Reigns and a few others. So I'm in the camp now that I know he's not good. And I'm not totally fond of him, even though I do like him. But let's not just shit on the guy now. I know the crowd is split heavily to him being thrown out, and they wanted Triple H to destroy him. But I'm in the camp now, he can't be that destroyed. Even though we know what's going to happen at WrestleMania. So I'm moving on now to the matches that happened during the night, which I felt was very superfluous. When it came to the Usos dealing with the Ascension, they didn't need to have the match with the Ascension. Really, they didn't. We know the Usos are going to deal with the Dudley boys. They could have had the match with the Ascension on SmackDown. I hate seeing a NXT team who has been shitted on so badly. They look great at NXT. I did see NXT a little bit on and off, as you guys know. I see it sometimes. I haven't seen it in a while. But the Ascension was a good tag team. And now they're nothing but a joke. They should go back to NXT and do something better with themselves. The money's not worth it. But the thing that was most important was the Dudleys. Sorry. The Dudleys was the most important thing here. And I really believe the Dudleys could have just came out, stayed at the edge of where they had to come down the ramp, and they could have done it that way. And then that would have been it. Didn't even have to go to the freaking ring to prove their point. They could have just stayed near the Titantron. So I felt that wasn't really necessary. It was good to see the Dudleys, but it really didn't help the Usos, and it definitely didn't help the Ascension. The 6-man tag, the Wyatts versus what we had last night. That was Sunday. That wasn't necessary. Just so Ryback can break off and maybe turn heel. I'm hoping he does not. I'm saying this clearly, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're a Ryback fan or not, and I do like Ryback, he's way better as a face. As a man of positivity. For what he said over the last 8 months, particularly how he felt after he shattered his leg and what he believes in, he's better as a face. If they're going to turn him heel because of this, it's beyond stupid. You don't need to heel out Ryback. He's gotten strong traction. I am hoping they don't turn him heel. But it may turn him heel, and that's dumb. The Y2J and AJ Styles segment was good. The problem I had with that, and it wasn't Chris. Chris put AJ over perfectly. The Social Outcasts, bringing them together as a tag team, I feel is a wrong decision. I'm saying this clearly. AJ and Y2J as a tag team later, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing AJ and Y2J. What is it, Y2AJ? I'd rather see AJ, well, Y2K. That sounds a little better than Y2AJ. It's not as catchy. But the problem is I don't want to see AJ in a tag team. This is how you stamper him and suppress him. It's not necessary. Let AJ be AJ. As I said in my Fastlane review, I'd rather hear AJ play the music that he used when he was a lone wolf in TNA. But I dealt with that. This I don't want to deal with. I'm saying it right now. No tag team for AJ. This is how you hold him back. This is how you turn him down and you lose all the momentum. You should not team him with Y2J. Not because he's not good. It's because he doesn't need to be in a tag team. Leaving it at that. Goldust segment with R-Truth was funny. But I do not know how far they're going to go with this. And I'm hoping they do not have the tag team. Let them be in the back. Let them do what they do best, and that's working in the back. Not saying they both don't know how to wrestle. They're both funny in the back. The segment was okay. The Brock Lesnar segment was okay. The beating beforehand, before the show started supposedly, was okay. Dean Ambrose coming in an ambulance was not okay. We've seen that so many times. And if he's a lunatic fringe, he shouldn't be coming in an ambulance. He should be coming in a taxi, then come out of the taxi, punch out the driver, then, well, basically this is how you paint it. I'm kind of jumping ahead. He comes to Raw in a taxi. He gets out of the car. The taxi cab driver says, "Hey, where's my money?" Punches out the taxi cab driver, which will be a guy from NXT. Comes out to the ring. Then do that segment. Not having a taxi cab and having an ambulance was dumb. We've seen it so many times, and being the lunatic fringe, coming in a taxi, or having a taxi cab driver bring you in, and then you jap the taxi cab driver, would have made him more lunaticish than bringing an ambulance that we've seen so many times from Kane, seen from him, seen from Bray Wyatt. It's been done. And I think they don't get it anymore. You can't keep using an ambulance every single time. Do something different. Have him drive in a taxi cab with the taxi cab driver knocked unconscious, or he japs the taxi cab driver, like I said. The segments were all fine except for Dean coming in. Now, the part that truly angers me beyond no end. Sasha versus Naomi. I said this a long time ago that eventually Sasha was going to have a feud with Naomi, and they would use Naomi to get Sasha over. But I would hope that would do a storyline with this. There is no storyline. Naomi tapped out last night, and I'm talking about Sunday. I mean, this is being done Tuesday, of course, but I'm talking about the pay-per-view. She tapped out with Tamina. Now, this, within 2 minutes, maybe 3, she taps out to the bank statement. What the fuck? I said this before, I'm going to say it again and again and again. This is fucking bullshit. Anyone who doesn't agree that Naomi and Tamina are nothing but bullshit, give me an example how bad they both are. Give me a freaking example how bad both these women are. And tell me when, where, and how many times they've been bullshit to prove to me that both these women, a Tamina Snuka and a Naomi Knight, deserve this kind of fucking treatment where neither one of them gets shit. This is stupid. And Nicole Beth, thank you for agreeing with me. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. But this is such bullshit. If anyone disagrees with me, give me a freaking reason why Tamina Snuka doesn't deserve no title and a Naomi Knight doesn't deserve no title. For what reason? Is it their ring ability? Is it their abilities to act? Is it something they did behind the scenes that we didn't know? Give me a good reason. Because both of them have abilities to talk, even if it's not that great. Both of them have the ability to work in the ring. Naomi is better than Tamina, but Tamina is a power wrestler. And both have been there for over 7 years. Or at least 6 to 7 years. Actually, Naomi, I think she's been there since 2007 to 8, but went onto the roster in 2012. Tamina came out in 2010, but she's been around a little bit longer than that. I could be wrong about the years. I am quite upset right now, but you gotta understand the situation. This is bullshit. Give me the reason below. Please. Now, past the rant. I have exercised my demon, even though if I was Christian, I would say that. And I'm not, I'm just joking. But, this is what I'm focusing on. Shane McMahon coming back. When I heard Show Me the Money, I'm not gonna lie, I actually was, holy fucking shit. Shane, who has gone to, I believe, Taiwan or Hong Kong and has worked on his own business, decided to come back to help his family's company. Shane has had no reason to have any major interaction with WWE since around maybe 8 or 2009. We all know the main reason. We know Vince is not giving up any control of that company. And if he does, it's going to Stephanie and Triple H. It's not going to go to Shane. When we really believe that Shane should be the one to run the company now, not because he's older than Steph, but we know that whenever he did do some work in the back and actually promoted things, it worked well. And that's what a lot of people wanted. They wish that, not to want to just see Vince drop fucking dead, but to Vince to turn the company over to him. And let's see if what we already knew would work. That Shane McMahon would completely revamp the entire company and make it better. But now Shane is now in a storyline. Shane is now trying to get Monday Night Raw under his control, which is supposed to control the entire company. And that now he's going to have a wrestling match at WrestleMania against the freaking Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell. What the fuck? WWE. And this is the thing I loved about Shane McMahon. He made this very clear, even though he kept going like this, and like this, and like this. He has not been under those hot lights in a long time, so he wasn't used to it. So I take that away. I don't have a problem with that. You can put that to the side. He was sweating like a pig, and I know that because I sweat like a pig. But you get my point. Taking away that he wasn't very good talking, and taking away that he was sweating like a pig, he spoke the truth. The ratings look bad. The stocks look bad. The wrestlers are getting badly hurt. You currently have John Cena out. Nikki Bella out. You can say whatever you want about them. You got CM Punk leaving because he couldn't stand anymore. Daniel Bryan's been out because he's hurt and he can't do it anymore. Cesaro's out and he's hurt. He can't do it anymore. Seth Rollins is out and he's hurt. Well, Cesaro will probably come back. I'm sorry I said he can't do that anymore. I'm kind of going with it. But you get my point. We haven't seen like Darren Young. He might be hurt. Unless someone tells me Darren Young is not hurt, he's just taking time off. But a lot of the best talent they have, along with Randy Orton, Batista decided not to come back. Either because the company sucks or they've been hurt. What Shane said resonated because it's the truth. But here's the thing. Having Shane McMahon there, having that match with The Undertaker, which will bring in ratings, which will bring in people wanting to see what's going to happen in the next Raw, this SmackDown. I just don't see it really helping the company long term. I mean, Shane McMahon coming back, and I'm sure he'll probably win, and he'll run Raw, does not change the fact, the true systemic problem of Monday Night Raw and the company itself is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And that award of Vincent J. McMahon kind of iterates the problem. Vince's dad was a better promoter because he understood. He understood how the things change. Well, to a certain extent, he went from boxing to wrestling. That's how he worked. Vince has done the same thing. He transitioned his company from a small company to a international company. But here's the problem. The same between Vince Sr. to Vince Jr., they're both in the same boat. And we really need we need a Shane McMahon to be a new Vincent K. McMahon. Because Vince is acting just like his dad, Vince Sr. Because when Vince knew there was something had to change in the business, he changed from a small regional promotion and went head to head with all the other regional promotions and made it an international promotion. Shane McMahon is our only best chance to revamp the company and change it. But unlike Vince Sr. getting money from Vince Jr. and then having to pay him back, I don't see that happening with Vince Jr. to Shane McMahon. I don't see it happening. So as much as this is a huge jump, it's going to give a great jump in the ratings. People are going to say, oh shit, Shane came back. Oh shit, we got blood at the end of the show. It's not enough. It's a great shot in the arm temporarily, but long term it doesn't mean anything. And as much as I'm going to be watching, I'm interested, I just don't see it helping the company in the end. And that's just how I'm feeling. I'm hoping I'm wrong, and maybe this is maybe a transitional time for Shane to be back in the company. Maybe Vince is actually going to transition him in to take over, which I doubt. But this is just how I feel. You guys tell me below how you feel, and I hope you enjoyed the Zane View. Please give me a comment below. Tell me how you felt about the show. Tell me if it was a great show or not. Clearly it was a shot in the arm, but I'm seeing it from a long term. I just don't see it helping the company. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace!